The Cipher Brief, because national security is everyone's business.
It's my pleasure now to welcome the CEO of Secureworks, Wendy Thomas, to share some of her thoughts on thinking about this issue and differently thinking about what the focus is on securing the way we work versus security pieces of technology. Welcome, Wendy.
Hello, Matt. Great to see you. Thanks very much for having me today. Appreciate it. It's been a great set of speakers so far.
Thank you.
Sure. So Suzanne and Brad asked me to join to talk about an issue that is important in our world each day. And I think one of the most pressing issues is this shared experience of technology increasingly being infused in all of our activities every day, both personal and professional. And with the move to remote work, that fusion being increasingly hard to distinguish. Right? I don't know if anyone's had to work from home with their Wi-Fi out the past year, but digital access has become a fundamental part of our productivity and our power to conduct our personal and professional lives each day. And with that comes greater exposure, greater connection, and a shared model around who's responsible for securing that, right? So there's this greater dispersion of security control and an increase in connection. And so with all of that comes this really heightened accelerating level and probability of cyber risk. And so one of the things that we talk about at Secureworks all the time is to shift toward securing how we live and how we work, as opposed to a historic approach of securing a particular piece of technology that we might use. And so you've seen a shift in the industry to talk about, well, identity maybe is the new perimeter as opposed to people being inside the castle walls. We've been talking about that for probably a decade or so. And identity is an important pillar, absolutely increasingly important, but because it's not the silver bullet, right? You have to ensure its veracity, you have to maintain changing roles and rights. It is not the answer, right? It's not more foolproof than the old perimeter. So it's really a combination of things. So we think about security really isn't about building a taller, wall around the castle. It's not just about having the best visibility and controls across everyone in your organization. It's about controls across their digital activities, across all of your technology stacks, across everyone inside of an organization. And so how do you think about doing that? We always start with a threat, right? So increasingly, you see the mix between nation state kind of espionage type attack activity and cybercrime move around. And right now it's shifted a bit more towards the nation state side. We see about 60-40 nation state cybercrime. And then you think about how is it on the cybercrime side that they are winning. So we see still primarily the same things. Ransomware and business email compromise are the source of the rewards that keep cyber criminals in business and coming after more. And then we say, okay, well, how are they successful with ransomware and email compromise? What do we need to fix? And we see that about a third. About a third unpatched vulnerabilities that get exploited, right? They're just scanning and looking for an open door. The second is credential compromise, to the point about identity is not foolproof. And about a third is what we call commodity malware that is really just looking for that opportunity, if you will. It's an opportunistic attack. And the answer for that remains the same in a lot of ways, but we think about it as kind of the three-point approach. One is basic hygiene, right? You hear it all the time. Type management of your cloud configurations, multi-factor authentication, patching. It is not super sophisticated, but it is essentially part of becoming a harder target. And if you think about securing us as individuals who are moving between personal and professional lives and digital worlds all day, every day, security has to be the job of everyone, not just the security teams. We all have to take that extra step, right, of that tough password, being thoughtful before we click, much broader cyber literacy to essentially stop the fuel, the funding of the cyber criminal element of attacks. And the second piece is when you fuse that with the power of automation and compute that emerging technologies like XDR afford us, that confuse the identity piece with the extensible visibility and contextual telemetry across multiple attack surfaces, and that behavioral education and willingness for all of us to be part of the bigger solution. to wrap that moat around us, what we do, how we do it, where we do it, when we do it, and thereby disrupt the attack model economics. And that's really been top of mind for us, is shifting the mindset in terms of what it is we're responsible for securing to change the outcomes in the industry.
All right. Well, that's great insight, and appreciate you sharing that with us today. Part of the challenge has been, the human element, and that's both the identity and the action. So thank you very much. So we appreciate it.